You've got tons of comparables data. It's probably in Excel, living on your computer somewhere. And when we go to underwrite a new deal, we want to put them in the context of the project we're working on. So here's a sample of some dummy data that I've got. You can see I've got tons of columns, each with different values on it. And I've got the name of the developer, the year it was built, roughly how occupied it is. This address field is the important part. This is what Giraffe is going to read. It needs to be titled address, and it doesn't need the full address, but if you can include city and zip, then it'll correct 99% of errors. So let's go back into Giraffe and let's upload it. We'll go add data layer, create your own vector, and we'll hit browse and we'll go grab that dummy data sheet 1, and then boom. So the nice thing is, once we upload it, it'll map it for us perfectly at the right addresses. And then there's really two options of how you can bring it in. One, you can bring it in as a layer. Let's do that first. Bring it in as a layer. And when we bring it in as a layer, we'll still see the table of all the results, just like we do in Excel. But we have this ability to then add a lens. And a lens is a way of styling that data. So we'll say, let's add a label. And on the label, I want the year it was built, the average square foot per unit, and the rent per square foot per month, right? So that's going to give me a nice normalized set of data. And now when I zoom in to an appropriate level, see how we've got these little tags floating on our records now. So it's be super helpful for us to get a sense of what's going on. Okay, so that's method number 1. I like method number 1 because we can still filter and we can isolate it down to certain columns, or maybe we want to just look at the one bed price or whatever it might be. This all acts like Excel, so if we want to filter it, for instance, show me all of the projects owned by developer A, I could just add a little filter like we would in Excel, where is developer A, right? And then boom, it filters down to just that one record. So that's nice from working with data point of view, but it's not that nice from a styling point of view. So we have other ways that we can bring that data set in. Let's do it again. We'll hit add data layer, vector, go get that same data set. This time, instead of bringing it in as a layer, I want to bring them in as actual points to the project. So I'll say import to project, and you see now it's given me all these points that I can select. And those points have the data on the actual point themselves. So really kind of a nice feature to have. And then I can start to style this thing up. So the first thing I might do is say, okay, well, let's put a marker on all of these. You can see it's going to grab a label. And I want it to be a nice little circle. And instead of saying label, I want to put a dollar sign so we can get a sense that it's comparables like this. Whoop, we don't want T, we just want the dollar sign. So that's really nice. Now when we click on it, we get the full data set down here, but I might want to add, say, a pop-up where if I click on it, it pops up and tells me what the variable is. So I'm going to select them all again, say add pop-up. And the pop-up down here, beautiful thing about the pop-up is I can reference fields that are on the geometry itself, so on that point. So I might say, let's put the developer, let's put the year it was built, let's put the average square foot, let's put the unit mix, and the market rent, okay? And so now let's spend a second formatting this. So I'll just hit enter to get a nice sort of paragraph break. And let's bold the owner, and maybe we'll italicize the year it was built, and we'll put a dollar sign in front of market rent. Okay, if we wanted to, we could add a picture and all sorts of fun things here. We could hyperlink out to the actual project if we wanted to. We won't go that far. We'll just save this as it is. So then let's click on it, and you see now it pops up and says, okay, well, this is developer E. It was built in 2022. Average unit size is 700 feet, and it's renting for about $3,432. So really kind of a neat functionality.